Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call. Anybody have any conflicts of interest for tonight? Okay. Seeing none?
No.
From treasurer's warrants?
Move to approve?
Second. Okay. Discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Approval of minutes from last meeting on September 8th.
Move to approve?
Second. Okay. Any comments, corrections? Emery?
Under, it seems to come up, the recycling center, it said board member Emery Cox asked if there were studies to find out if there were things being dumped or piled in the yard. And I felt it was deeper than that, like had we done, that we looked into, reviewed any studies, had we checked in with what happens when you do raise rates at landfill, and if there is a correlation between, higher levels of rubbish around people's yards and or a fire hazard because of rubber pile. So it wasn't just, are we piling it in a yard? So it was deeper than that, I thought.
Billy, you got that? Excellent. All right, with those amendments, all in favor? Okay. Okay. The claim deeds, Board of Assessors, Ms. Vaught. We have three abatements.
Move to approve.
Second. Okay, any discussion? Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Ah,
What are you doing
You
with
motioned it, go ahead.
Could we, I just don't understand why, when we fill a pool, do we not know how much water we put in it? And where's the abatement from? Is it, Jane thought it might have been something to do with that water will never go through the system, so it's not at the same rate as household water.
Correct.
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
That's what I need to.
They also, pay for that water separately, right?
Right, yeah.
Just the way we received this is very confusing because I'm not clear what we are abating. In some of it, it was approved by Brett, but next year we need a meter. So my question is, are these individuals, do they all have meters? Well, except for this one, obviously. Historically, we would get a line saying Conroy, build X, abate this amount, etc. So, I don't know if you could just review last time we did wastewater abatements. Because again, some are large figures and I'm not sure what we are abating. It's not consistent.
Yeah,
That would be helpful.
Good point. I noticed that we had a little bit more information about, our abatements in our email. But we didn't get it in our actual packets. It's saying the two were for pools and.
Right. Now, for example, the 9/17/25 okay by Brett, who wrote that?
Probably Sonia.
Okay, well, it'd be nice to have initial, because I could fill out this application, I could say approved by Alcina.
Yeah. And in the past, actually,
Yeah.
those have gone to the admin subcommittee for approval
For abatements.
for the abatements. I don't believe we saw these things.
So just,
So,
we're getting old.
yeah. So just because I don't think we've done abatements since, Alcina, since you've been town manager. So,
Yeah, no.
yeah, normally they go to admin, they get piled up, then they go to admin, and then does a double check on them.
But do we do wastewater?
I'm pretty sure we have. We definitely do.
Like I said, we're getting old.
Yeah, we're getting old. So,
I mean, we can.
I've seen tax abatement go before admin committee, but.
Yeah, all the tax abatements, and wastewater definitely has been, we've done that whole like
Okay,
leaky pipe thing.
yeah, true, I'm sorry, yep.
Yep, so, yeah, it's probably just better to be consistent because we should be keeping track of it, not that we don't trust that people are abating correctly.
Right.
But it is a good double check.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a motion in a second. You have another question?
No,
Oh, okay, you get ready. All right, all in favor? There we go. Thank you. All right, open session. We have a public hearing for the general assistant appendices update. On to that. Who's going to lead us in that?
Yes, Julie, do you wanna, since you're the one with Dover, you know, general GA assistant for public safety.
Yeah, this is in the,
Summary sheet.
yeah, in the package, it's just the summary sheet of what the numbers changed this year. They all go up just very, very tiny amounts here.
Right.
It's just updating the committees, not the ordinance itself, the full committees of that.
Right. The annual adjustment.
Yeah, so you can see what it was last year versus this year. Or you just always, you can use your own numbers if you want to, but we've always just used these state numbers because we really do all the math and.
Okay. Do I have a motion on that? Or, yes, we have to prove that during the hearing, or I'm sorry, I didn't look ahead.
Yeah, it's under new business. here.
Yep, okay. So, is there any questions about the annual adjustment? Okay,
I'll ask you a question.
sure.
Where's the figures?
Just-
Yeah.
Hard to have a public hearing when the public has none of the information you.
Bears with us.
You want-
Yeah.
Okay, so you want the summary sheet or you want the pack?
Oh, I just want the sheet.
Smart man.
You've read that
You want
packet
to know,
before.
that's
That's, might be a question for Alcina, but you might, so if the town spends money on general assistance, that is fully refunded by the state to the town, is that right?
75%.
70 bucks.
And currently Sonia's doing the general assistance, correct?
Yes, yeah, and I think he's training Marlene how to do it.
Okay.
That thing, could start there. There's a door, maybe it was a sign phone. You can open up.
So Julie, as you were saying, we're just going with the state's recommendations.
Yeah, otherwise, if you don't go with the state's recommendations, you can come up with your own numbers if you want to. But basically, you have to prove where you got the figures, where you're doing your math of figuring out
Mhm.
what, you know, like general rents in the area, what you consider appropriate for heating fuel and all that. So you can do all your own math, but you have to prove to the state where you're doing the math from, where you're getting your numbers from.
Right.
And then you have to vote on those numbers and then you go with those numbers as opposed to what the state gives you.
Okay. So the state allows us to say, well, these numbers don't reflect the local markets for rent and heating oil and things.
Yeah.
But we have felt that they're generally in line.
But if we were to choose our own numbers, I'm assuming the state's only gonna do the 75% on their numbers.
Yeah,
They won't give them
probably.
70% on what we choose.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Good point.
We have to say it out loud so everybody's on the same page.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the state says you can make it any number you want, but we can reimburse 75% our number. Yep.
yeah, yeah, you would have to eat the rest of it. So,
Are there any questions? Okay. Not, I'll just close the public hearing. That'll open session for the public.
Deborah Stallings, and I was not at the last meeting, so I'm not sure if this was discussed. But, you know, in going on the dump twice this week and getting stopped to get the new numbers, which is fine. Frustrating part is I've waited like 15 or 20 minutes being stopped up there to just get through.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things going on. People don't need that. While I understand why the durable goods amount are going up because it costs more to get rid of this, not that I'm happy about it, I understand that. But when it comes to saying, you know, you can only have 7 bags of garbage and anything over that is $1 a bag. I mean, immediately my mind goes, okay, so when considering that, did you look at possible unintended consequence? For example, that dump road is a mess in the winter. We know that. And we didn't have the money to pave it this year. It was taken off. So have we considered that now? So people will go maybe instead of once a week holding all their garbage to go once, they're going to go 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. That's double, triple, quadruple the amount of vehicle travel on that road. What's the additional maintenance going to be on that road to keep it graded and keep it taken care of? Did we consider that?
It is actually getting paid, and it should be getting paid next,
October.
yeah, in October. So, but in terms of the unintended consequences, we are concerned about those as well. And I think we should be flexible and adjust. The major thing is to address the problems of, first of all, overuse of the facilities by people who are basically running commercial operations and using the dump without paying for it. That's the number one thing. So unfortunately, that does mean a change in how we've had people coming in. We've largely just waved everybody through, which is great for efficiency from the citizen standpoint. They can just zip on through. But now that we are trying to limit the damage being done by commercial operators, that does require checking. We've all had meetings. We all believe that the system as it is right now needs some improvements. The number one is to be able to take credit cards on site. So, for example, this happened to me. I went there. I thought I had a 20 in my wallet. I had 5, and I needed to pay 10. And fortunately, this is because it's a new thing. They said, you know, okay, but you know, it was the first day. So we need to be more flexible on how people pay. So maybe they weren't expecting to spend $10, $15 that day, so that they can go through, and then having maybe a different sticker system so people can move through more efficiently. These are the kinds of things we're working through right now. Because
that made sense to me, saying, well, if we've got a sticker or something, you can kind of control who's getting those.
yes, and
Watch that.
we do that with the tags that people put on the dashboard, but a lot of people don't like having them on their dashboards generally. So they're not sitting there. My wife hates it because she's sitting in the passenger seat and it just reflects right on the windshield. And then after a couple of months, it's white, because it's been sun bleached. So we're looking to go with stickers, which is a normal thing for most municipalities out there, I think. So the way I look at it is that this is a work in progress. It is a transition, mostly in terms of the enforcement, not in terms of what the expectations are, from people. It never was okay to come in with 2 truckloads of stuff in one day
I mean, I don't disagree with that, it's just, it's just kind of odd right now, and my secondary comment to that was, when I went in today, and it was like, okay, well, how many bags do you have in there? Okay, that's fine. 3, but then it's like, so I said, so that means somebody's gonna be here every time and be asking?
Yes,
So I'm going, okay, is that a good use of taxpayer money to have somebody standing out there
yes,
and checking that? And then I said, well, what happens when it's raining or snowing? Are you standing out here then too? Comment was, oh no, you'll have to get out of your car and tell us.
Yeah.
Not happening. I'm not gonna do that.
yeah. And again, we're gonna tweak the process as we go, but in terms of paying somebody to stand there and check, those numbers have all been cased out and looked at before we moved into enforcing. And it does, just how much money we've been losing, especially to commercial operations. And how much money we are spending now to pay for the tipping fees and for the white goods and all the tires and things that people have been kind of slipping under the radar. We believe that, yes, it will be worth it overall. And the reason why, I guess, to say this is the amount of shortfall that we have in terms of covering the expenses of the transfer station is so large. Do you have the number?
It would just seem that, you'd be able to see the same offenders coming in and finding stuff every time, and just that instead. Every time.
Remember, they have the warrant, we can't figure on
Yeah, we're 30 somewhere for the year, but
Yeah, I don't want to sum up one year,
Yeah.
but I know where it's crossing, what we were.
yeah.
Ryan,
Yes, sir.
Ryan Budd is here at my first meeting, so hi, everybody. Just to add to part of this conversation, do we think the 7-bag limit is going to curb commercial usage? Or, because I rolled into the dump this past weekend and I saw a guy that probably had 12 to 15 bags. He was setting 5 bags by the road. He went through, did his 7 bags, came out, picked up his other 6 bags, and then went through again. So, I mean,
Genius.
right. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, and it goes back to the conversation. Is it really going to curb the small time commercial guys? Maybe the big time guys, yes, but the small time guys, they're going to find a way. And my fear is that some of the side roads and outlets in town are going to see increased dump.
Yeah, and that's something that we are concerned about. And unfortunately, it's one of those things we probably won't know until we try it. It's definitely not going to be perfect. Somebody who really wants to put the time and effort into working around paying $5, I don't understand it, but some people just out of principle don't want to spend $5. They'd rather spend 20 minutes of their life going back and forth and dumping, and picking back up. So definitely hear you.
Yeah, and the other side to that is my wife and I have obviously we've lived in town now for almost 8 years, but we both travel for work and I coach multiple sports. So there might be a week where through work and regular coaching and life, we can't get to the dump. And then the next week I go and I have 8 bags and I'm a regular citizen on regular usage and I get penalized as a result. So for me, I don't mind. I'm just posing that thought going, okay, some folks in the town may feel like, hey, I'm a regular citizen using regular usage. I'm not disposing of any more trash than I would in a 2-week time frame, but now I'm being penalized. So just some food for thought.
Yeah, definitely.
And just to touch on that, and obviously they have discretion for bag limits and whatnot, especially if they see that an individual that they're familiar with and they know they only might come every so often, right? Maybe once a month or whatever. But also the bag limit is I can't tell you how much money we have spent in legal fees and dealing with the attorneys and other things as far as people and rats, that type of issue. So this is also an attempt to curb rat issues in town and outside of town. And then as well as the whole dangerous building process, that kind of thing, hoping that people will actually go to the landfill.
Yeah, and as just a regular citizen, I'm not against it. I think, we need to generate some revenue. We need to start paying for some things and we need to start doing our share. I'm looking at it going, like, is as we go, obviously this is going to develop and I think we're in its infancy stages of its growth, but, I think we'll hopefully fine tune it. To make it efficient.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Paul?
Yeah, I just want to point out that the alternative is the tax system. And we pay for the dump one way or the other. But I was at the dump a few days ago and talking to a few of the people that work there. I feel sorry for them because they're catching hell about this.
Yeah.
And being abused by some people.
Yeah. We are taking that very seriously, and I'll just say that it's not going unnoticed. Okay.
And I have someone on one.
Oh, you have somebody. Hang on, Steve. We'll have somebody online.
Hello, my name's Jennifer. I live here in Dover-Foxcroft. I live on about 7 acres, a lot of it's wooded. And typically in the spring, I bring in 5 or 6 trailer loads of brush from blowdowns and windstorms, I can't afford to do that anymore. So just something to keep in mind is that you may be looking at increases in revenue by charging for these things, but there are going to be people who can't afford that. So you're not going to see that revenue.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Steve Robinson. I moved back to town about 8 or 9 years ago, and the place I came from, it was $2 a bag for a small bag and $4 for a big bag. And a truckload was $75. And you put a sticker on your window, you had to buy for $1. And they watch you come in, they checked to make sure you got a sticker on your window. So as much as I don't like what's happening as a resident, I think it's great as a business person for the town. I mean, I was there today and took 200 tap loads, it cost me $50, and I was happy about it. I mean, it is what it is. So I think I think you're right, Steve. It's gonna take a while to get used to it. It's a huge adjustment. And there's other towns you could look at. I mean, one town brought a shredder in, a chipper, and you could bring all your brush one day and they chipped it. And, there's all sorts of options, but I'm sure you folks will see it as you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and similar, we do have the free dump day.
Yeah.
So there's that, and that's also to kind of encourage some people for bringing things in that they might not otherwise bring in, and that speaks to what Alcina was talking about.
Yeah. But it's also free to recycle, so
yes,
the more we recycle, the less bags we use.
Absolutely. And again, that gets back to a lot of commercial operators are just chucking everything into the tipper, and that costs us. Okay. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Levi. I'm curious as to how much of the discrepancy in the income that you're talking about is actually because of commercial use rather than residential use.
It's hard to know because we haven't been enforcing this. It's anecdotal. The guys recognize the same people coming in. There's an issue with people saying, oh, well, no, this is from my house, and really it's not. And it's going to take a bit more to get them filtered out.
So these dump fees that we're imposing, is this designed to combat that, or is that actually what its intended purpose is? Well, it seems like if you're going to attack, if that's your goal, it doesn't seem like it's a very targeted goal. I mean,
well, that's one of the major goals. The other one is that somebody's just bringing in a lot of demo debris all the time. Demo debris is very expensive to dispose of versus just your regular household trash or your recycles, which actually can generate money for us.
So what do we do about that? So what should we do about that then?
Well,
That's the
so
problem.
as a resident, if you come in with a truckload because you've just done it on your own porch, you now pay.
Great. And the commercial use is they're gonna be targeted as well.
Yeah, well, yes.
And the question I have is for wood, the other problem, there's, your smallest unit of measure is a pickup truck full of wood.
Yes, part of what we're doing is repackaging the way that these are discussed, because it was never intended that be the smallest unit. That was just the scale down. For example, I came in with, a bundle of wood, it's about this big, and they assessed me at $5, and I thought that was fair.
Is there gonna be some sort of objective system that they can use?
We'll have to tweak it as we go, but I mean, it's gonna be very hard unless you have, one discussion has been about having a scale, but if you've got mixed stuff, it's difficult to do, to separate out. So, no system is perfect, but do understand that it's not like, oh, you've got two 2x4s in there, you're gonna get charged the $25. That's not the.
I'm saying should have a system in place so that doesn't happen, to guarantee that doesn't happen. You can't just rely on the honorable, I'm not saying you guys are awesome, by the way, I'm not, but you can't just rely on that as.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get the word out that there's, and how we actually repackage the statement of units is that's the thing that most people are concerned about. They look at it and say, well, a whole truckload of brush, but I've just got a little amount of brush. I don't want to pay the whole amount. And that was never our intention. So we are revisiting how that is presented to people, to give them the assurances that they're not going to get tagged for a whole pickup truck load when they've just got a Subaru Outback with 3 things in it.
Is the picking situation going to be the same still? With the wood, because I usually take more wood than I bring, to be honest.
And Eric?
You're allowed to do.
Picking, so, right, okay, so I don't have to like weigh how much I took out, so I can give that as a discount for how much I bring in.
No, the more you take, the better.
Okay,
Yeah,
just saying, let's be fair about it.
yeah, exactly. Okay, we're all set. Nobody else online? All right, I'm gonna close open session and go to open session for the select board. Tracy?
Quick question, Ken. How do you know how much is on that commercial truck when it shows up?
I try to judge things out by Google, like a trash can or something like that. That's how I try to measure things out.
But you really have no definite way to weigh that truck out to make sure that what he said
Weighing
on
it out,
there is
no.
on it.
Weighing it up now. Yeah, I try to eyeball things. Been doing
This
it
is one of the problems we've had for a long time. Totally agree with you.
Jane?
As usual, I have a list. Is there any type of, playground winter maintenance that needs to be done to protect the investment that we made out there? Do you know?
So not necessarily for that. It's supposed to be quote unquote Maine Winter Hardy is what the company branded it as. Though we know plastics and all that. Even the canopy can stay up. I've contacted the company about that. They said canopy could withstand whatever. I don't know. I know with Kiwanis Park, there is gonna be some winter maintenance done as far as some of the playground equipment is gonna be dismantled and recoated with the tread, the anti-slip treading paint. But that as far as winter maintenance, that thing's been there for 20 some odd years. And there's really been no maintenance needed for it. They kind of want you to just set it and forget it and then build like that.
And I did notice that what we signed in the packet is the usual with pool filling. That's the information that we usually get, which is very clear of who got abated for what, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I also chatted with our Representative Perkins regarding the MDOT light on Route 7. And, he said he would contact the Maine DOT to get the specifics. Because again, I said, you know, we've been told, oh, it's coming, it's back ordered, and then, oh, you're not getting it. I'm thinking, someone's not telling the truth here, so please check it out. So we're waiting to hear back from that. Also, my comments about the transfer station. Again, I think it's important that you focus on the issue. You know, hoarding, that goes beyond what you bring to the dump. Also, I believe that we charged our town manager to recoup our expenses. So again, we're looking at all departments to say, how can we save money, that sort of thing. And again, with the contractors, and I believe Ryan had mentioned recycling, and I'll use my little diagram. It won't be factual, but I think if we put our little jar of Prego saying if we recycle, the town gets 5 cents. But if we put our same jar of Prego in the trash, we're paying $1. Are we being smart? I don't think so. So I would strongly encourage that we even check with the middle school to say, would you like to do, and as I think you mentioned, a little video of our transfer station to educate the adults as to the importance of recycling. I also think that we need to have a security camera.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard the treatment of our staff by our public, I would have called 911. Inexcusable. Inexcusable. And again, putting up maybe a second dump day and change the season. You know, someone always takes May 5th as vacation. And so if it's every single May 5th, let's change it up a bit so that folks are better prepared. So that's all I have.
Okay. Just for me to follow up on Jane's comment about the looking to, you say, balance the expenses with the burden of people using the services. We, as Paul mentioned, it all comes out of the tax, out of people's pockets one way or another. But the example I've been using for people is the elderly woman who lives in town who has maybe one bag of trash a month, or a week or something. She right now is paying for those people that are just constantly coming in with demo material or because they love hot rods and they burn through their tires all the time, whatever it is. That person, the retiree who's on fixed income, who's got a very small amount of trash, should not be paying for the people that are using it way more often. And so that's the sort of thing that we're trying to do is balance it, because ultimately it does come out of all of our pockets, and it's just trying to make the system fairer based on use. Joel?
So I was there a day, I went in and I could tell there's some very heated people coming to the transfer station. And the lady that was checking everything was very polite, and definitely took a lot of crap from people that she shouldn't have had to take. So, out to the world and the void and the observer, you can quote me with this. We're elected to take all of your complaints. The people that work for the town are not your punching bag. So if anybody has a problem, come to us, please. I would rather listen to you and talk to you and get your information than find out that we lose important people working for this town because they feel so horrible going to work knowing they're going to be treated that way. That's not okay. And if you were in their situation, you wouldn't be okay with it either. Change sucks sometimes. Yes, there's a lot of things that have to be tweaked. I would bet if you took anybody that works in waste and said, look at our transfer station, they're going to say, that's a pretty old setup you have. It's not as efficient as a new system. It doesn't have all of these things built in to expand and do more, but they show up every day and they do the best they can. I would bet a quarter that the Public Works Committee is going to be having a conversation on a 5, 10, or 20-year plan. Where are we going from here to make this work and be affordable and accessible for everybody? So email us, call us. My phone blows up pretty constantly. The day this went into effect, I got a lot of phone calls. And some were just asking questions, some were mad. And I listened to every single person. If you have an idea you think that makes things work better, talk to us or schedule an appointment with Alcina. That is why we are here. We are not here to make decisions and not have feedback from the community. We need it. Unfortunately, we have meetings and people don't come to them, so we're stuck trying to do the best we can. And I'm not going to make everybody happy. I don't think any of us can do that, but we're trying the best we can. So please bear with us. Next, I understand people, brush season has come. It's always brush season, it feels like. So whether you're coming out of winter dealing with stuff or prepping for winter, yes, brush is going to be an issue. Do the best you can and talk to the people at the transfer station. They can let you know the best way to bring stuff in and what the cost might be. And hopefully we can get a chipper at some point and help with that stuff. That'll only happen if you're cordial and polite and talk to them. And if you're one of those people that's not being cordial and polite, you can be asked to leave. That's all I got.
Thank you, Joel. Kevin?
I want to just kind of second what Joel said. You know, if people have concerns with anything that's being done town-wise, that's why the select board is here, so they can bring those concerns to us. I know right now it's really popular to jump on Facebook to voice those concerns. I don't monitor Facebook every day. I go on there once every couple of days. I see the complaints. You know, once in a while, I don't see them all. So I don't know, you know, I'm not digging through Facebook looking to solve every single problem. These meetings are public for a reason. You know, we want people to come to these meetings and express those concerns to us and give us ideas if they think they have an idea that'll help with something we're doing. So like Joel said, I mean, all these meetings are public. The more people that show up to these, as far as I'm concerned, the better.
Yep, absolutely. Joel?
Because you reminded me, Kevin, I saw a lot of complaints and I got some phone calls about meeting times when we have our committee meetings. And you are absolutely correct that if we schedule something during regular working hours, it does make it pretty hard for people who have a regular job, so to speak, to come in and be a part of the conversation. So I'm saying that if I'm on a committee or helping scheduling, I'm pushing back, trying to help us put stuff at a time that works for everybody. It is hard because we all have lives outside of here and we have schedules, and sometimes it gets really complicated trying to find time to meet. But I also know that all of us, if we hit a point where you said, you know what, my life has shifted and I just can't do this anymore, we won't run again unless somebody else comes and fills our spot. But while we're here, we'll do the best we can and we will do our best. I will continue pushing to get the meetings when more people can attend. And if there's one that you can't make it to and you wanted to, let us know, because we have ways to try to bring you into the conversation if you can't physically be here.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, we'll close open session for the board. Any adjustments to the agenda? Right, so on to committee reports. We have 3. Alcina, do you want to do the climate advisory, or is anybody of us on it? Okay.
I can give a slight recap. Just trying to remember. We had discussed about so we were awarded community resilience partnership grants for the amount of, we were asking for 75,000. They awarded us 63,000, almost the 75 if we found more items to add into that grant. So we're discussing about when that money will be released. There's some revisions that have to be made to the application just for clarification for the state. We discussed about another grant that we put in for an energy audit, a level 2 energy audit for some of the town facilities such as town office, public works building, police station, and fire. So that we're just waiting to hear back on whether or not we'll be awarded with that. That once again just went in. And then also recruitment for people to be on the committee. It's going to be my thing I'm gonna harp on. If you wanna be involved, please fill out an application. It doesn't matter. Put whatever interests you might have. And if there isn't a committee now, there might be one eventually. And, we can hopefully give you a call and say, hey, are you still interested? And be happy for you guys to join. So they are looking for newer members, or new members rather. I know a few of them I've been doing this for a while, been a few years, so, they're not necessarily looking for replacements, but they're looking for people to carry on the torch, in essence. That's pretty much the summary of the meeting.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Promo and development.
You wanna do the update since you were at the meeting, you ran it?
That was it. We just kind of talked about some ongoing things that we've had. One of the big discussions was and it's actually an item of business tonight, the grant letter of intent from the town of Dover-Foxcroft to submit for a grant for the Piscataquis Area Community Center. We also discussed that moving forward, we're going to work at trying to make these grants, try to get them out there, make the public more aware of them, and businesses and whoever might be able to take advantage of them, and set up more like an application period. This one, Amanda actually went out and found and brought to us. So that's the biggest reason that we're gonna be looking to try to move that forward tonight. What else did we discuss that I got? I think that was the biggest one. And then we had discussed, we're still waiting to hear back on the status of the signs to go on the historic buildings. Hopefully we'll be hearing on that pretty soon. And other than that, just kind of doing the best we can to try to help promote the town a little more and move it forward.
New town logo.
Oh, yeah, we have also been discussing a new town logo that Alcina has been working on. Now it has gone to Tammy, correct? And working on different color palettes that we can look at, different logos that we can look at to see what we want to adjust. We haven't really had a town logo. So we're kind of looking to get something like that in place. Something that can go on, shirts and stuff for people that are working for the town. On the website, hopefully the new website pretty soon. Just to, make everything look a little bit better and promote the town a little more.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And since you're doing such a great
Yep.
job. Oh, sorry.
Question, now that it's fall, has the rec committee started its work or do we have a sense of the youth sports this fall?
I do not. I will make a note of that for our next meeting.
Jane, I have that part of my report.
Excellent.
Okay.
Hey, you're up again.
And Public Works Committee, the biggest discussion were the new transfer station fees and what we can do to try to kind of not minimize, but cut down on the cost that the town is incurring to run the transfer station. Like Steve's already said, it's gonna be an ongoing process. There's gonna be some evolution to it. I think we're gonna find things that work well, we're gonna find things that may not work so well, and we're gonna have to make adjustments as these things come up. I don't think that this is the be all end all solution to this, just putting these fees in place. I think there's a lot more that needs to go into that, and we have discussed some of that. We also discussed the Congregational Church parking lot, which was brought up to us last week. And I believe all of those concerns were being addressed.
Correct.
Yep.
Because they're town property.
Right, because the town owns the Congregational Church parking lot. They have our responsibility to maintain that parking lot. So we're gonna be adding a handicap space. There's gonna be some new signage put in to kind of direct the flow of traffic a little bit better, especially for the people coming up the hill and out that can't really see, you know, the arrow on the ground. Crosswalk, one of the crosswalks has been repainted. There's gonna be an additional crosswalk added. So basically, all the concerns that were brought to us last week are going to be addressed. The landfill road paving, that project is slated to take place in October. Right now, it looks like there's only gonna be single lane closures on the Summer Street end. That could potentially change depending on what they actually find it's gonna take once they're on site.
My dad, that's not just paving the dump road, that's rebuilding.
Right, that's
section.
basically a total rebuild, right? I'll see that.
Yeah, they'll be excavating 16 inches down and then putting obviously new aggregate in there.
And then Alcina's been working on the school zone flashing lights in front of FA, getting them timed up right. She's been working with the company that installed them, and hopefully that will be all timed up here pretty soon, but according to the data coming from the signs, it looks like the signs are having the desired effect, even without the flashing lights. And the green light that is out at the Route 7, Route 15 intersection has been reported, so hopefully that will be taken care of.
We've had 3 outages since then,
Yeah.
I might add.
Yeah.
That particular one is just the bulb and the overhead light at that intersection. If you're facing Bangor, the green bulb is out, the yellow and the red are fine. So that should be taken care of here pretty soon.
Okay.
And that's a station.
Yeah, that's a state,
State thing.
that's not, yeah,
And fortunately, it's that direction where there's 2 lights. So there's at least a green on the right-hand light. It gives you a clue that you should probably get going. All right. Thank you very much, Kevin.
And I apologize for not putting this under the adjustments. The admin committee, we've had a couple of meetings.
Yes, we have.
One is working on the conflict of interest and or the ethics statement for select board and volunteers, as well as the assistant town manager position.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I guess we did meet once since our last meeting. So
when do you think that position is gonna finally be posted?
I'll see you.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sooner the better.
Yeah. We've got I think that we'll have, I mean, we've pretty much got the draft for the position done. So we ran out of time to button it up. That meeting was very long as it was. So we should do that for the next meeting and then, or, you know, circulate it before then to everybody to dig into. But we used your draft as a starting point for that.
Great.
So it will be very familiar to you.
Bet it will be. And not to interject, you mentioned the website. Do we have an ETA when the new website's gonna be live?
We need a color palette. So we're working on that. And then it takes about 8 weeks. They're starting to migrate stuff over from ours right now. So that's all behind the scenes. And then they've already got the initial setup and feedback. I've already gone over that aspect of it. So as soon as the color palette aspect is, it's more like the beauty part is what's the hold up.
Yeah.
Because we could have just a white website, whatever, and it'll just be what it is, but yeah.
Is it possible on our Facebook page that we get a pin post that says like committee name, description, who's on it? Like, so if people go there, they see right there, we have these committees, and Because right now, of course, the old website's kind of hard to navigate because that's why we're getting a new one.
Yeah,
But maybe
it's in there,
if we
but
pin
yeah.
some of that important information there, like if they're going to the Facebook page, at least it's right there front and center.
Okay. Yeah, just, yeah, now we're bleeding into discussion, so, we'll go to unfinished business, gonna continue the discussion about fees. We've heard quite a bit. We've commented. Anybody want to say anything more? Emery?
I only want to reiterate of the recycling center and the dump fees, et cetera, so that everybody is remembering that 2013 was the last time that we reviewed the rates at the dump, 2013. And it's really been since COVID that we've been policing or properly, working the rates and people coming in and stuff. So it's not familiar to many people because it's been however many years since we've been following the policy. So it is a change. It is coming in and we are willing to work and to make it better as soon as we can. But the policy is in and here we go. And if you think of it environmentally, if nothing but environmentally, it has to be better to be handling our waste properly and moving down that track. And in that same boat, I will say, is it the green waste where maybe there could be some negotiation, which is the truckload of brush or whatever. I just make it noted that green waste is green and friendly. And if we burn it, I know that it has to be tested and that's expensive, but stuff that is chipped and shredded and reused green waste, maybe we could look at those rates. The rest, white goods and stuff, they need to go up.
And we do chip
Fair?
brush,
Yeah.
we do chip brush.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, no, just the rates, if it's $20 for a pickup load and you're clearing out your leaves and it's 4 truckloads, 4 pickup loads and, oh, well, there's $80. Okay, is it a little more environmentally friendly than a washing machine?
Yeah, I mean, clearly.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It gets looked at.
And
I
like,
don't need answers, just looked at.
yeah, for
Review.
instance, like leaves, there's no charge because it gets composted. It's-
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anybody else have thoughts on this? Okay. Good discussion before, so. Close that out. We're gonna go to new business. We're gonna first hear from Arnold Shorey, then Stacy.
Thank you. Well, I want to say thank you to the town. We just concluded homecoming and the town played a big role in making it happen. The police and the fire department, especially the fire department, as we know that the conditions are very dry and we have a bonfire and the firefighters volunteered their time, stayed late Friday night. So the bonfire is a very small, very quick bonfire, but they made it possible by just being on duty and having a truck there. And they said no charge, and then we offered to pay, but that just, we're so lucky where we live. So I just want to say thank you. Our enrollment is 410 students. We have 65 boarding students. So the visa issuance pause that happened in June actually did hurt us. We were scheduled to have 80 students at least. And so when they stopped issuing student visas for about 15 minutes, 5 weeks, it really stopped our momentum. And we did lose some students. And so we're back at about 65 students. Last year we had 80. There still seems a good interest coming for the second semester. So I don't think it's a lost year by any means. We did have to kind of postpone a large project. We had to adjust our budget a bit. We were going to address the student parking lot, which needs addressing. But we have that on hold, and it still seems to be a good interest for their students from other countries to come to America for education. So We have 4 new teachers, Lance Timberlake and Josh Kimball. We stole from Setamocha. Lance teaches social studies and Josh is a math teacher. Felicia Gaylord is our new JMG teacher, and Austin Seedy is also another new math teacher. Since my last report, I think I reported, we had that Mayo Street project that we were all kind of hoping for to expand our career technical education. And of course, we lost that funding. They just shut that down. That didn't stop us. So we reached out to SAD4. We said, we still like to continue to do this. And we would be very interested in housing, the programs in Guilford. And so, we didn't hear a no, but so there's still doors open for possible discussions. And we hope to have those discussions in the future. We're in the midst of writing our self-study for our reaccreditation. That happens every 10 years. It's through New England Association of Secondary Schools and Colleges. And what we do is there are 12 standards with many indicators, and we're doing a self-analysis with each indicator to check our program. And we write a report, and then in March and October, we'll have 2 visitations, and they will be checking our self-study for the validity. And but so not only would we end up with a stamp of approval from NEASC as an accredited school, but it also creates an improvement plan, and we're always continuously looking to improve. So it's involving teachers and parents and trustees and obviously staff, and so we're all working. We have 12 working committees right now, and it'll probably take us till December to have all the reports written and ready to go. So last week we inducted 4 people into our Athletic Hall of Fame. Alan Smith, class of 65, Randy Kenny, class of 2004, Ian Champion, class of 2010, and Mackenzie Borgie Smith, class of 19, and Coach Gary Wakeland. So we had a very nice ceremony last Friday, not only as a banquet, but also at the football game. So as promised, I do have some figures for youth sports. There's currently 125 young students involved. There's 31 involved with football, 49 involved with soccer, and 42 are involved with field hockey. And Austin CV is continuing overseeing as our director of youth sports right now. That's my report.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Thanks for the sports numbers, and it's good. It's nice to see a broad range of sports still, but tell me about the band and the chess club and other student involvement in theater and drama, and how are your numbers looking there?
Oh,
Are we climbing? Are we still stagnant?
Our music classes are quite full this year for the semester. It goes by semester and semester depending on student schedules. The fall semester, all the music classes seem to be at capacity. It's a little early. We're getting ready. We started our musical by the number of students that tried out for the musical and signed up for the stage and production. It looks like really good numbers. Looks like at least 50. And Josh Guthrie, which directs the fall musical, always looks to involve as many students as possible. So, far as the one act that's still a little early, that happens in the spring. And then a lot of our music festivals also happen in March and April. So, all indications, our chess club is not got off the ground yet, but, that's still early to see. So, to go back, in general, I will tell you, homecoming was the best participation I've ever seen. So I hope that carries through in all our programs. But the amount of students, just involved to do something, it was incredibly pleasing.
We were there for the parade as they went by the house, and all 4 classes seemed to be full of kids, and we wondered about the bonfire as well, so.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear that it was able to go
Well,
ahead.
fire department made it possible to happen, so, and the police department made the parade possible. So I mean, again, we're very fortunate that everybody supports our school system.
The streets were lined, West
Yeah.
Main was pretty good.
Yeah.
Down, up and down both sides.
Pepper Alley, public, was, you know, I think we had as many citizens as students, so
That's good.
thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, great. Thank you. You're up, Stacy.
I'll be delighted to be able to come and chat with you about what's going on in our 268. I'll start with enrollment. Currently we have 637 students attending SETO. That's about 20 students less than last year. We had a very large 8th grade class that went to the academy. We have a smaller kindergarten class that is coming in, so that's that offset of numbers. There are 322 students at the elementary school, K-4. There are 41 pre-K students and 274 middle school students. Dover-Foxcroft this year has 421 students attending SETO right now. Usually ask me about homeschool, so I try to be on top of that this year. We have about 120 kiddos that are homeschooled. That's pretty consistent over the last 4 years. We have 77 supers agreements this year. 49 of those super agreements are coming into the district. Overall, 77 is a little bit low for supers agreements. We usually cover somewhere around 85 or 90. 572 continues to be a really hot-in place. So we're starting our 4th year having the central office there. The pre-K program has 17 students in between the two classrooms with 2 teachers and 4 ed techs. Childcare also opened an additional, so they are downstairs at 572. Last winter, they asked for 2 classrooms upstairs, and this fall they opened at the Head Start building. So they've really branched out into some of our spaces. TCTC's early ed program is still housed at 572, and they are full. I think she has like 29 students, which is awesome and hopeful for all of us. This summer, we were able to purchase a new van through pre-K, and all of our pre-K students that are identified with special needs, all of that money is not part of our budget. It's separate, and we get reimbursed at 100% for that. So actually, we got probably a little bit more than 100% reimbursement because it's based per student. And so we were able to purchase that van this year. We are also in the beginning stages of an HVAC system up there. We got a grant through the revolving renovation fund for just over $1 million. And so there were some delays on getting things started just because they couldn't get the equipment. So the equipment's finally in, and they are in the process right now of kind of building some staging to be able to get into the attic, which is accessible through the playground on the Cub Care side on the back side of the building. So that's process has started, and we are hoping to be finished by March. Summer school was really busy. We had 80 students participating in summer school. The focus again for the middle school this year was kiddos that didn't meet their standards, specifically in ELA and math. We had a few students that also worked on standard recovery for science and social studies. And we have currently 60 students signed up for the after-school program that began on Monday, last Monday. We did receive an opioid grant. We wrote and received that last spring. So that's just under $500,000. And we're going to use that to pay for the site coordinator at 572 for the pre-K program and a social worker. So that's a 3-year grant, which will be very helpful to the budget. We hired this year 5 teaching positions, 2 that FA stole from us. We won't talk about them. And we also hired 5 ed techs. So when we started the year, the first time in a long time, we had full staff. That was awesome. I can't say that as of today, but when we have a full staff. Jane and Karen Lodgeman also hosted substitute training again this year. This summer, it was incredibly successful and well attended, and usually we gain an employee or two in the ed tech position out of those trainings. So I'm hopeful. Our goal this year as a school is to continue to work on attendance. Our attendance numbers are getting better, but we still have a lot of work to do. The state would like to see us be at 10%, and we were hovering right around 21%, which is down from the 25% that we were the year before. So, and that is based on kiddos that miss 17 days or more in school. That's a lot. We also are working on instructional strategies. So the half day that we had last Friday, that's what teachers all kind of gathered around, and we did some work and watched a video on good instructional strategies. We are, unfortunately, sad to say that we're losing a board member. Brendan Hall has moved. So he will be with us through October, and then in November, we would be asking your board to appoint somebody for the rest of this year, and recommended that Ryan Bettis be that person. So I don't know if that's on your agenda for tonight, but hopeful that will happen. And there's just been a lot of positive changes at Center for the school year. And I don't ever like to say it too loudly, but it was a really nice start. Kids were happy to be back. Staff were ready to go. Fingers crossed that it continues for the rest of the year.
Cool. Any comments, questions?
You go, Jen.
No, we'll go Jane first.
Regarding food and hunger, is that an issue?
Yes. So the food pantry will be opening very shortly and is available to all of our students. And then the Kiwanis also does Kiwanis bags as well with our students. So those are very appreciated and very needed.
And what's been the feedback regarding outside drinks?
You know what? We had the first day of school, we had one that came in. And then since then, it's been great. And mostly, I don't know what, I don't do Facebook or online stuff, so I don't know what they're saying there. But to me, people that have spoken to me have been like, thank you. It's such a help that we don't have to try to run to Dunkin' before we appreciative. So.
Excellent. Emery?
Just my normal stuff of student involvement in sports, in band, in drama, in chess club. How are you starting off the year? Have you got
Sure.
good?
And I should have told you, so fifth grade this year, for the first year, all of our fifth graders are going to participate in bands. It was a great way to kind of get all of our kids kind of excited, and it was also a really nice way to be able to kind of help out our music teacher and kind of free up his schedule. So it was kind of a win-win. So I will tell you next year how it's gone, but so far everything seems to be going really well. And I have parents seem to be happy, students seem to be happy, and definitely our band instructor is very happy. So that's been a kind of an exciting shift for us at Seto. Our numbers in band are very, very healthy. Obviously all of our fifth graders, which happens to be one of our smaller groups, are participating. And I know they had signups last week. So looking very good there. Drama, he used to do an elementary, David Murray is our drama instructor, he used to do an elementary and middle school drama. He decided this year just to do 2 plays and kind of open it up. So the first play is set for January. He did initial signups, and it was well over 50 students, and there, I think, for room for 28 parts. So he's busily creating some more parts to be able to include as many of those kiddos as he can.
And sports?
Sports, our numbers are very healthy. I think we have 120 students participating between soccer, field hockey, football, and cross country.
And one more, swimming. What is sorry for not really knowing, but SAD 68 in the swimming program.
Our second grade, is the grade that typically goes to the swim program. We have budgeted for that. We
Yeah.
are very hopeful. It's usually, done like late winter, early spring. So we're hoping that that will happen. And then we also, our students with special needs, that are more, yeah, we have a group of students that participate, from stuff like that as well.
So mostly it's second grade that does a learn to swim thing, but
Yes.
it doesn't carry through.
Now, we're trying really hard over the last few years, like second grade does swimming, seventh grade does skiing.
Yeah.
We're trying to give each grade level their own
Okay.
special
Yeah.
activity.
The interest at the high school level swimming has really dropped. And so we actually joined Old Town. And we only had 4 swimmers last year. The year prior 5. It just, for some reason, the interest in swimming is really waned.
They had nowhere to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking more on the safety side
Yeah.
rather than
Just knowing how.
super duper, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dave?
The question, do 8th graders, do you talk about community service?
Yes,
Are they required to do community service?
encouraged. I
Encouraged.
mean, after the football game, the middle school, we had a little chat about being up after ourselves, but after the football game was, oh, holy. We walked the next day and could not believe the mess on the hill where the kids were playing, but, no, it's not required in 8th grade.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Stacy. All right, to the point of appointing a temporary replacement.
Move to approve Ryan Buddis as a temporary replacement for Brendan Hall on the RSU 68 Board of Directors.
Second,
Okay, any discussions?
just to note, the language in the charter regarding this issue noted for the next revision.
Yeah.
Because historically, when the select board has a vacancy, we've discussed it and it kind of waited until the next election. And this is the first in my memory that the school board vacancy had been asked of us to fulfill, but I have no problem with time.
Yeah. Our charter is rather vague on this. But we do appoint for the non-elected. So this is the difference, is that these positions are elected. For other committees, we do appoint people, but this is that weird in between. So we're gonna go with this because we want you guys to be full staff. The charter seems to indicate that that's what we're supposed to be doing. So this is the way to do it, and then we will fix the charter later. Okay,
Does he want to say?
would you like to make a speech?
I'll do a quick introduction. For those that don't know me, then my name is Ryan Buddis. My wife, Ashley, and I moved to the area 2018 now. So we've been up here 7+ years, and we work down in the Standish, Maine area. And Ashley said, I want to be back home. I want to raise a family in a place where we're a name, not a number. And we were down in that Portland area. So we've been back here for several years now, and we love it. We love being a part of the community. I see some of you, and most of you know, I volunteer my time coaching sports, as many as I possibly can help with. But I do like the odd chance I can sit on the sideline and be a dad for once in a while. So that's also nice, but I'm happy to be a part and serve where I can to help further us along. So I appreciate the recommendations and all the support. So thank you.
Thank you for stepping up. Okay, all in favor? Yes. Yeah, that was a predictable vote. All right. Okay, so we have a letter of intent from Dover-Foxcroft for the DACC grant.
I'll move. You knew this one. Okay. I'll move this to make a letter for the Piscataquis Area Community Center to be the town selection for the Community Business Development Grant. Second.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Put together.
Yep. General assistance dependencies. This is just formalizing what we've already had discussion about.
Move to approve.
Second,
Okay. Further discussion, questions? Okay, all in favor? Okay. Meeting schedule, we have a conflict with our normal meeting date.
No, really?
Yeah. So, we have a motion for setting the date.
move to schedule the first select board meeting in October on Tuesday, October 14th, due to the holiday.
Second. I won't be there. But any other comments? I'm not out of the country, so it'll be very, very difficult.
That's not an excuse now.
Yeah, it is when I have to pay per minute.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the pay per minute thing. All right, all in favor? There we go. Thank you. Okay, town managers report.
All right, so Essex Street Bridge mirror, the elusive, whatever we want to call this thing, this is the most asked about item. It is anticipated to be back up this month, as I am told by Maine DOT. There is no definite date yet on the installation, but they have assured me that it will be up this month. So if I have any further updates, I'll go ahead, obviously, if there's any delays, maybe they're not. And we'll have our mirror back until they take it down when the bridge comes down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big enough.
Yeah,
That's what I was envisioning. A hand mirror.
yeah,
A little big in it.
the compact mirror on a selfie stick.
Let's stick that.
So Kevin brought up a point on the school zone lights. I have been battling these things since they've been installed. I've been on numerous calls with the company, and finally they came to the point where, hey, you probably have 2 lemons. So they will be only us. Well, not really, actually, because there's actually a few other main towns that got the same equipment and they've been having issues. The issue is, you have to pre-populate the schedule ahead of time for the year, which was all done, but they taught me how to do it, And they said, yeah, of course, it'll be easy. You just go to it, Bluetooth in, it uploads your schedule, and it just works. I'm very tech savvy, and I can't get the dang thing to upload. I've done both sides. I've done that. I've put it to my phone, whatever. So they will be sending us replacement modules, and hopefully, I don't know. Once again, I don't know how long that's gonna take, because who knows at this point with shipping and all that. But like folks stated, the little speed sign is doing its stuff. They pulled reports and there's no one going crazy, and I see as I'm driving through, people are slowing down, just seeing that slow down, and they're even off hours, which is good.
So what's the issue?
What's the issue?
It doesn't blink at 8:15.
Yeah, it's not blinking, like, because those yellow lights are supposed to flash during the school zone times, and that's when your speed limit's supposed to be at 15. Well, right now, it's just telling you your speed limit's 25, and like, oh, good. Well, it doesn't say good job, but it says slow down if you're running. But I'm like, good job, So that's the issue. It is not allowing me to upload my schedule so that it knows when to blink and when not to blink. Or at least the yellow flashing ones, the actual radar part works. So that is to be continued on that. We've got 2 full-time positions open in the town. One is for a full-time front office clerk, and one is also the other is rather for a full-time code enforcement officer. So if you are interested in either one of those, please visit the website for more information. The job ads are posted on there. We also are looking for a backup animal control officer. And that's an on-call paid position. Basically, call you if we need you type deal. I'm trying to think, there was one other thing I wanted to say about, I can't, it just escaped me, of course. So that concludes my report
Excellent.
until later.
Yeah, right, about 2 in the
Oh,
morning.
but wait a second. I wanna acknowledge, congratulations to Julie. She is officially our town clerk. That was the one that was escaping me. What else am I missing?
Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Alcina.
Mhm.
Congratulations, Julie. Correspondence we have, so open session closing remarks. Anybody out there? Any final closing remarks? Steve?
Yes, Steve, I have 3 things really quick. I wish the Schroys was still here, but they have a golf program at the middle school. There's 14 kids. They go to that golf course with that tall with bags, and it's great to see them out there. There's 14 of them, and it's really something to see. They've done a great job that way. Is there anything about the Dover-Foxcroft Housing Development Corp? It's not on the website, and I can't find any information on it. It runs Thayer Parkway. It's the board over Thayer Parkway. I think it's, town has nothing to do with that?
No,
Mm-mm.
no,
Really?
no, no.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's privately owned.
That's why it's not on the,
Yeah.
okay. And my last comment is kind of like, of all the stuff you're working on, promotion and climate and everything else, it would be nice. I've had a lot of folks visit us this summer, and we can't buy a big potato or a steak in the town of Dover-Foxcroft. I have to take them somewhere else, and I hate to have, our money go somewhere else. So is there anything you can do for economic development to get this to be a destination location?
That is actually part of what the promotion development committee is here to do.
Yeah, beautiful.
So that's why we're here. Come to our meeting, email us. We are open to hearing anything and having that conversation.
Great, thank you. That's it.
Okay, great, thank you. Anything else from the board? Tracy?
IT,
Yes.
where are we?
My independent consultants are still reviewing the 5-year plan for projected projects from the multiple companies. So they're going over that listing still. I'm trying to get them to wrap it up at the end of this month.
Okay.
Yeah,
It'd be great if they could.
love that. So,
Try not to bug you anymore.
no, it's fine.
It was something we've been trying to work on for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I do want to kind of give a little sneak peek, just to piggyback off of what Steve said, because he just spurred the thought. I was contacted by a independent filmmaker. They were wanting to feature our town in a short film that they do. And they are looking to come up potentially in this following. It's been a long day. Next summer to shoot around Maine, and I asked them, well, why did you pick Dover-Foxcroft? And they're like, it's just a unique place. It's something that was attractive to me. You have a rich culture and history and everything. And so we've been back and forth and communicating, and the production company is, I believe it's Five and Dime Studios. And they do a variety of they've done advertisements, they've done a promotion for, I'm gonna probably not say the right town, Madison. Maybe, I can't remember, but they did another.
Madison in Maine, so.
Yeah, I know we have a Madison, yeah. But I'm trying to remember on the message. So if you start to see like camera crews and drones and stuff, it's them. But I think it's gonna be a great promotional item for us, because that's what and we own the rights to it when we're done, or when they're done,
There you go.
which is
There you
nice.
go. All right, that's exciting.
One
Right?
minute.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, so this is my second meeting I've ever been to since I lived here, and I'm really happy to be here, and frankly, you'll probably see me a little bit more, but you had mentioned about the town logo and kind of rebranding what we look like. And that it sounded like it was trickling into the signs that are on the outskirts of town potentially as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
With any luck.
Yeah.
We've had some in-depth discussions about this at home, and what really brought it to my attention a few months ago was we had to travel to Canada for a soccer tournament. And if you've ever driven from Dover-Foxcroft to Montreal or Quebec, and you drive through these small Canadian towns, you're in that town.
Yeah.
And each town is different. It has its own personality. And you come into that town and the sign is big, can be ornate, it can be this, it can be that. But it just seemed like every town had its personality and you felt it when you got into the town. Versus Maine as a whole, I'm not singling us out, but it's like there's a 4x6 piece of plywood with some paint on it that might be falling over and might not be landscaped, but that culture, I think the fact that you guys are bringing that to the forefront is important. People are gonna know they're here, which is great.
Come to our meeting.
That's,
You know you want to now.
it's right up
I
my
can
alley.
see it. I can see it.
I'm a sign guy. I'm heading back up there in a couple weeks. I'll take lots of pictures.
Absolutely.
All right.
I just
Great.
have one
Thank you
quick
for that.
thing.
Yes.
My wife and I walked in the Walk for a Cure this weekend. Dover really turned out for that this year. I believe I read the post said that they raised $49,000 just on the walk in Dover-Foxcroft on Saturday. And two of the biggest groups to turn out were the FA football team and the FA field hockey team. So that was really nice to see.
Great. Good to hear.
Sean, has his
Yeah, I
hand.
was gonna say,
Oh.
just one.
Okay.
Yeah,
ahead,
I just want to mention that, I think when it comes to fee changes and things like that, the town needs to do a better job of outreach. I don't think, just talking to an empty room and telling on Facebook is going to reach enough people, in order for them not to be upset. Now, I'm not excusing, as Jane said, people getting mad, but if the town doesn't put it on the Observer or doesn't write letters or whatever they got to do, people are going to be upset, and understandably. So I think when it comes to these type of things, there are major changes, especially fee changes. The town has to do a better job outreach. It has to.
Yep. Well understood. All right. We're all set.
Okay, we adjourn?
All right.
Second?
Perfect. No discussion. All in favor?
Yeah, off you wrote.
I would overrule. I was trying to discuss it. That would